The short answer to this question is absolutely yes. I have personally successfully charted after all of my pregnancies with natural family planning. But that being said, it can be a very confusing time to chart because you're having a huge change in your life. You've got this newborn baby, you're not sleeping very much, and also your cycles and hormones are kind of doing a lot of funky things. So it is super, super important during this period of time to work closely with a trained practitioner in whichever method of natural family planning you decide to chart with. The postpartum transition is the period of time from the birth of your baby up until your body goes back to its normal baseline pre-pregnancy menstrual cycles. Some women think that they can just wait to chart until they get their period back after their baby's born, and this is a huge red flag. I do not recommend this. Actually, about 40% of women ovulate prior to getting their first postpartum period. So it's possible to get pregnant without even having your period back. So if your personal goal is to avoid a pregnancy or to space out your children postpartum, it is super, super important to be charting with a method of natural family planning. What we would typically expect after the birth of a baby is about 4 to 5 weeks of bleeding, and this is called lochia after delivery. After this time period, if a woman is breastfeeding, she goes into a very, very, very long follicular phase, meaning we don't know when her first ovulation is gonna be until her next period comes back. For some women, this can just be a couple months. For some women, this can be much, much longer, even up to a year or longer, depending on her personal breastfeeding journey with her baby. The Creighton method and the Marquette method can both be successfully utilized to avoid pregnancy postpartum. But it's just super important to pick one method, follow its instructions, and work super closely with a trained practitioner. The Marquette method has gained a lot of popularity postpartum because it's very objective. And really all a mom has to do is one time of day test. And that makes it really, really realistic for a mom who has a newborn, maybe isn't sleeping, is very much in an adjusting season of her life. It's a realistic method to add to your daily routine. There's also a 2023 evidence-based research study that the Marquette method specifically did and researched effectiveness protocols for the postpartum protocol. So for people who are using the Marquette method postpartum perfectly, it was 98% effective for avoiding a pregnancy. And for the typical user who maybe didn't understand all the rules correctly or made some mistakes, it was still really highly effective. It was 96% effective for avoiding a pregnancy.